so we're here with Marley, and we're going to be introducing him to the e-collar. So there's a lot of people that are buying these e-collars and they're throwing it on their dogs, and they're just correcting the dog for all the bad behaviors, and they want to show the remote to the dog, right? They're like showing the dog the remote so the dog can be scared and listen, or go hide somewhere and stop doing what it's doing. And they think they're doing something right because of that. It's not at all what you want. You actually don't want the dog to recognize the remote at all. You want him to recognize the sensation, meaning when he feels that, he looks at you for direction. What this is really a tool to create a language that both you and your dog understand, all right? So you guys can communicate with each other. The first step is you want your dog to know at least the basic commands: come, sit, down, how to walk on a leash. He needs to understand what a session is, so that when you do a session using this with your dog, he knows what to do, and he's a lot more comfortable, especially with a dog like Marley. He's a bit on the nervous side. He's pretty shy. He has fearful issues, so you want him to know what's going on. This video is with Marley. We're going to be showing 3 other dogs with 3 different personalities, so you guys have a good idea how to work with them and how to work things out using the e-collar. So step number 1, you want to know that your dog knows a good recall, right? So if I call him over and he comes over, I'll give him a treat. Marley, come. Sit. Yes, good boy. Break. Marley, come. Sit. Yes, good boy. Break. All right, so as you guys can see here, he knows how to come back to me. So the next step is we want to find out which level on the e-collar he first feels the sensation at. So we'll start on a level 1. All right, there it is. Level 1. And he should give us some sort of sign that he feels something. We're on level 4. And we got nothing. We'll go to 5. You see that? He's like, what was that? Looking for a bug, like something landed on him. He has no idea what it was. He's probably thinking maybe it's an itch. We'll do it again. You see that? He's like, where is that? Where's that coming from? That's fine. He's not scared. He's not, just a little confused. What sensation is that I'm feeling, right? So what we'll do, the next step, is to hold down that button. We're going to say his name and repeat the command, the recall command. Once he gets to me and completes that command, we'll release the sensation and give him a treat for it. So he's getting paid for this. And we want to build a pattern. We want to be consistent with it. Every time I call him back, I'm going to be using the e-collar. All right, so this is what it looks like. Marley, come. Yes, good boy. Break. We have a leash on in case he gets a little confused or he's nervous about it, anything like that, because he is a fearful dog. Or he simply just decides that he doesn't want to come over to me because he's distracted. We have a leash as like a translator to show him what we want him to do. All right. When I hold my hand up, that's when the pressure's on. When I put my hand back down, that's when I shut off the pressure. Or you can look at my middle finger. Once it's down, I'm holding down the pressure. Once you see it go like that, pressure's off. All right, so Marley, come. Yes, good boy. Break. Marley, come. Yes, good job. Good boy. Break. And as you can see, his tail's still wagging. He's got a smile on his face. Same dog as before we started using the e-collar. All right, good boy. So the main key here is to introduce it to your dog correctly. All right, know what you're doing. If you don't know, or you're afraid to introduce it improperly, hire a professional and they'll help you out with it. So the next step is really to keep repeating this, maybe 100, 200 times, as much as you need. Should take a couple days, maybe even a week. And then you're gonna test him. You're just gonna hold that button down, and if he comes back to you without you verbalizing anything, that's when he starts to understand it, and you can move on to the next step. All right, guys, so now we're here with Kenji. And we're gonna be doing the same thing, figuring out what level works for him, the level that he first feels it at, and we're gonna be working on that recall. So again, we're gonna let him use the bathroom. Step number 1 is to do the recall without using the e-collar, make sure that he understands it fully. He'll be getting a treat for it, and then we will layer it with the e-collar, all right? And we're gonna show another dog after this too. Every dog's different. I want you guys to see how to deal with each personality, depending on what dogs you guys have. Kenji, come. Sit. Yes, good boy. Break. All right, guys, so that was no e-collar. I just have the remote hanging over here. Break. Break. Alright, so he's what we call the Velcro dog. He won't leave my side, so I'm trying to throw some treats so he can go away, and we can work on that recall. If he doesn't do it, that's fine. We'll just use that to our leverage. Just walk. Kenji, come. Sit. Yes, good boy. Break. Alright, we'll walk this way with him. Come. Sit. Yes, good boy. Kenji, break. Kenji, come. Sit. Yes, good boy. Break. Alright, so you guys get the point. He knows the recall, he knows how to sit, he knows a couple of the commands. Good job. So now we're gonna figure out the level that he works on, that works out for him. Right? And we call it his working level. So start at level 1, pay attention to him. Nothing. 2, nothing. And we're looking for his body language, an ear twitch, see how he's panting. Maybe he'll close his mouth like, oh, what was that? All right. Maybe he'll look over to the side when he feels it on that side. Right there, perfect. He looked over to the side. So that was a level 4. Let's drop it down to a 3. Nothing much. 4, there it is. So it's a drastic difference from a 3 to a 4. So we'll start off on a 3. Right, he still feels it. You can see how he closed his mouth. He's like, whoa, what was that? He's looking over to the side. So we'll start right there, right? So hand up, middle finger down on the button means the pressure's on. When I put my hand down and you see my middle finger releasing, that's when the pressure's off. And that's when I'm rewarding him, all right? So, Kenji, come. Yes, good boy. Break. So notice the difference between him and Marley. He's thinking about it. He's more of like an excited, more confident dog. But when it comes to this, he's a little, ooh, what is that I'm feeling? I'm a little confused. And that's all right. We'll just keep working through it with him. Once he starts to realize it, you'll see his excitement. All right, may not be in this video, maybe the next. Just stay tuned with him. All right, so there he goes right there. Kenji, come. Yes. Break. Good job. Good boy. Kenji, come. Yes, good boy. Break. Kenji, come. Yes, good boy. Break. Kenji, come. Yes, good boy. Break. All right, guys, and this is the importance of teaching your dog a command or two, letting him know what a session is before introducing this to him. Because if he doesn't know what he's doing or what to do, you're just using a stem, he doesn't know what it is, he might freak out about it. As you can see, he knows exactly what to do when I give him the verbal command. And eventually, throughout the repetitions, he'll start to connect the dots, all right? Meaning when he feels the stem, he knows, oh, every time I feel this, I get a treat, I need to come back to him, all right? Kenji, come. Yes, good boy. Break. And this is a perfect example of the e-collar won't train your dog. You have to train your dog, you have to do the work. The e-collar is just a form of communication. Okay guys, so here we are. This is Guinevere. We just call her Gwen. Good girl. You see how excited she is? She's wagging her tail. When she first got here, about a week ago, she was super nervous, fearful, wanted to be away from me at all times. Her tail was tucked under her ears back. And now she's broken out of her shell. She's doing really good. She's super excited, has super high food drive. And we'll show you guys that a little bit. We're gonna do the same thing with her. Introduce her to the e-collar. Make sure that step one is out of the way, which is the recall, using no e-collar pressure, just simple verbal recall. All right, so we have treats over here. Gwen, come. Sit. Yes, good girl. Break. Good job. Gwen, come. Sit. Yes. Break. Good girl. Good girl. All right. Now what we're gonna do is we're gonna figure out her levels, her working level. Remember, so that's the level that she first feels it at. We'll start with a level number 1. I got nothing. 2, 3, 4. There it is. Okay, she's like, whoa, what was that? So we'll go back down to a 3. She probably felt it at a 3 and was just kind of like, oh, it's nothing, and ignored it. So I went to a 4, and then she actually felt it and was like, oh my God, what was that? So we'll go back down to a 3. She's peeing right now. We'll give her a little break. So here goes the level 3. And you get nothing. So we'll go back to a 4. There it is. All right. So what we're gonna do, we're gonna go back down to a 3, and that's where we're gonna start her at. All right. Gwen, come. Yes, good girl. Break. Break. Gwen, come. Yes. Break. And we just want to ease them into it, warm them up to it. So that's why we're going back down to a 3, where she probably doesn't even know that she feels anything. But the dots will be connected soon, and we can go back up to a 4 to where she realizes that she's feeling something, and we'll work from there. All right. Gwen, come. Yes. Break. So right there, I was just going to use the leash. Didn't have to. She heard me to begin with, changed her mind, and came back. But if she just ignored that, I would have just used a little bit of leash pressure, guide her back to me so I can shut off the pressure. All right. So the pressure won't go off until she completes the command. Gwen, come. Sit. Yes. Break. Good girl. All right, we're gonna go back up to a 4. She's pretty excited. She just saw a lizard, so adrenaline levels go up a little bit. So the levels will go up a little bit too. Break. Gwen, come. Break. See, same level that she was twitching before. She's just ignoring it pretty much. So we know she feels it. Gwen, come. Yes, good girl. Break. Gwen, come. Come. Yes. Break. Good job. Gwen, come. Yes. Break. Good job. And again, as you guys can see, she's not scared, she's not in pain, you know. We're just working with treats, repeating the commands, and she's the same dog as before we had the e-collar working. And once again, guys, just like the other dogs, we're gonna be repeating this 100, 200 times, however many times necessary that it takes for her to understand it properly, fully, and then we'll move on to the next steps. If you guys are interested in what the next steps are, please like and subscribe. I'm going to be posting a DIY training program on my website that you guys will be able to access and train your dogs, fully introduce them to the e-collar, and get your dogs to be off leash. You know, get them the freedom that they deserve to run around and be happy. And it'll all be reliable recall, sits, down, stays. That way everybody stays safe.